We're starting with this morning's Chok Israel. We're Chaye Yom Shlishi, Chaye for Tuesday. We are continuing in the Mussar from the Sefer HaRokeach. It says as follows: Shoresh ha'ahava. What's the root of love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu? It says as follows: Shanefesh mile'a ahavat Hashem. A person's soul is completely overwhelmed with the love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ukshura ba'avotot ha'ahava. And there's like ties of love which are keeping close that individual to God. Besimcha, with happiness, uftuv levav, and a gladdened heart. V'lo ke'oved rabo be'al korcho, and not like an individual who serves because he's forced to. Ela afilu im hayu mochin beyado. But if others, even this is what true love is, if others would impair an individual, hold back an individual from learning, from fulfilling the will of God, then his love would override it because bo'eret betoch libo la'avod, because it's so much burning inside here. Switch is burning so much the fact that he is loving the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So 1 second. V'sameach le'ashlim retzon bor'o, and the individual is happy just in order to fulfill the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sheken amar hamshorer, as David HaMelech writes, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha. We're supposed to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu out of love. Not really out of love, sorry, out of joy. Out of the joy of the mitzvah, out of the joy that we are fully in love with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ve'oved bishrut lev, and also to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with a straight heart, which means kedichtiv ulishre'lev simcha. Those who have a straight heart with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A straight heart means, again, there's many. I'm sure we could all think of different interpretations, but just basically, a straight heart means an undivided heart, a completely committed relationship towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When a person has a committed relationship, an undivided relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that is how he can be the most sameach. Ve'eno oved lo lehanato. A person is not doing the will of God, learning Torah, doing mitzvot, not only for his own, not for his own pleasure, ve'lo lichvodo, not for his honor. Ve'omer ma ani nivze v'chadal ishim hayom kan umachar bakever. He says, oh, what am I already? What? And this is, we learned about this by humility. What can a person think? Why would a person ever get so arrogant? What are we already? We're a human being, an embarrassed, disgraceful human being in this world. Soon, when a person passes away, they end up where? Only in the grave, 6 feet under. Hen be'avon holalti v'ani malek galal ech nivharti v'nivreti liyot eved lemelech hakavod. So as follows, he says, a person on the opposite has to realize how low we are, how physical we are, and how lucky we are that we were chosen to, as the chosen nation, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yes, right, v'ani malek galal, that means that an individual is full of dung. No matter how blue your blood is, right? Or no matter how wealthy you are, or how important you are, or how powerful you are, whatever you eat comes out. It's a fact of nature. We are tied to the physicality in this world. We have to cope with it, and we have to understand it, and therefore we have no reason to be haughty or arrogant because of such. When our soul really contemplates in awe, Reshef ahavat halev boer, the very flame or excitement of our love in our heart is illuminated. Boer ba v'gil simchat hakeref marbe v'simchat halev ve'eles klayot gadel chochmat adam ta'ir panav v'yismichu bo ohave shemo. So a person will be completely, when a person stops and thinks, he's saying, the Sefer HaRokeach is telling, when a person stops and thinks and contemplates HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with all of everyone's very own being and concentration, we will realize how much we really love HaKadosh Baruch Hu because of how much He loves us and how much He does for us. Anyone who has the wisdom of God in his heart, it's out of the love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we fulfill His will. one who loves HaKadosh Baruch Hu or one who loves someone else, they're doing it for them. As we've explained, when you love someone, you do for them. If you love yourself, you use others. You do for others because you're looking for the kickback. But if you really, really love somebody, you're doing completely for them. And a person who is completely infatuated with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, obsessed with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they're not thinking what's their wife doing with errands, meaning not because she's not important or what she's doing is not important, but if she's not involving you in a certain in going to BJ's, let's say she needs to go to BJ's, a person shouldn't be over involved with what's she doing there, what's she buying there, and this and that. No, the person doesn't have to always be completely focused on what everyone else is doing, like your wife, your children, and everything else. Meaning you need to be, it's a delicate line he puts in over here. On one hand, you do definitely need to be involved in their lives and it has to concern you. On the other hand, we have to take it all with, I guess you could say, emunah, and take it with the proper outlook. So not to be controlling, rather take a seat, sit back, and have a little bit of belief and trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
So selfishness leads to gaiva?
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. V'akol kain negdo rak la'asot retzon boro, and a person who is completely in love with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, complete love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a person that wants to do nothing except for the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, uskot achirim, and to give merit to others, ulkadesh shemo, and to sanctify His name, v'limtzor atzmo be'avato, and to even give up one's own comfort and commodities and even life just for HaKadosh Baruch Hu because you love Him so much. K'Avraham, as Avraham Avinu did, Shamar harimoti yadi im mihut ve'ad serochnal. Who knows what that was talking about?
No, the four kings. The four and the 5 kings.
Very good. Avimelech comes to Avraham Avinu and tells him, hey, listen, you helped us win this war. Let's give you the bounty of the war. He said, I don't want any favors. I don't want any gifts. I don't even want, as he says over here, I don't want from anything from a thread to even a shoelace. I don't want anything from you. Everything that comes to me comes directly from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As the Pasuk says, I don't want one day that you come and say, you know how come Abraham is wealthy? I gave him his first 100. I gave him his first shoelace. I helped him make his first million. No. Everything that comes to me is going to come straight from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He didn't want to owe it to him. So what happened? He was Moser Nefesh.
He overpaid for the cave of Machpelah.
That also.
Shekels, because he says, I don't want to owe nothing to you.
Something else. The gift he received from Paro and from the other, he didn't give it to Isaac. He gave it to the sons of
to Ishmael. Chazak. Or like Pinchas shemasar atzmo kisharag Zimri, or like Pinchas who really sacrificed his life. He put his life on the line when he went and he killed Zimri and Kozbi when they were doing the infamous act that we all know about, Chas v'Shalom. Ve'en menasein et atzman, and they did not elevate themselves and become arrogant and haughty. No, ve'en midabrin dvarim betelim, and a person who is completely in love with HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't speak frivolity, doesn't speak something that has no worth to that conversation. Ve'enam ro'im pnei nashim, and they don't look at the faces of women, again, to benefit from their beauty, as we've spoken about. V'shom'in herpatam, this is a very, very strong one. Shomim herpatam ve'enan meshivim. They hear their insult, they hear their shortcomings, and they don't answer up for it. Even if they have an answer for it, they take it, they swallow it, they work on their midot, they overcome their midah of answering back and lashing back. V'chol, ma? No, I don't think. No, that's a different concept. V'chol machshevotam im boram uman'imim zemarim lekonam v'chol eshet machshevotam boer be'esh avato ashrehem bazeh ulva. So he says that a person who's completely in love with HaKadosh Baruch Hu does everything HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is always thinking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I want to share with us, last night we have an exclusive shiur on tefillah every Monday night. When I say it's exclusive, it's a small group of us who come together, who've committed to learn a certain sefer, as I'll explain in a moment, and we learn it and we get together on Monday nights. When I say it's exclusive, it doesn't mean anyone here is not invited. No, it's exclusive because you haven't been there, and in order to join, there's a certain criteria. But we're learning the Sefer Sharim B'Tfilah from Rabbi Shimshon Pincus Zatzal, an amazing Sefer. It's one of the few Sfarim that he actually wrote. Most of everything else that we have from him is all from his recordings that his children and students put into volumes, which are all amazing. No, this is completely different. This is Rabbi Pincus.
Because it's
Rabbi,
just Mir, the Rabbi of Mir.
No. Rabbi Pincus was the Rav of Ofakim, and at a young age, I don't remember exactly if he was in his 40s or in his 50s, he was young, he got into a tragic car accident, and him, his wife, his daughter, they were all in the car and they all perished. It was a horrible thing. This was 15 years ago, if not more. This was a while ago. It's a very sad. However, his Torah we still study. So now listen to what he says. I just want to get into it because it has to do with this. We learned last night that there's a contradiction between, guess who? Yaakov?
Rambam and Rambam.
Hazaku Baruch. Between Maimonides and Nachmanides. Okay? Rambam and Ramban. Okay? And the Rambam is of the opinion of the proper way to pray is formalized prayer, organized prayer in the concept of a Sidur and Amidah, which have replaced the Korbanot, the sacrifices. This is Maimonides. Nachmanides, the Ramban, is of the opinion that a person, back to the Rambam, and a person fulfills their daily obligation of praying, or as a man, their 3 times a day obligation of praying by formalized prayer. Shacharit, Mincha, and Arvit. And for women, according to the Rambam, they would and should at least do 1 prayer a day. They're not as obligated as men because it's a time-bound positive mitzvah. That's the Rambam. The Ramban is of the opinion that a person fulfills their Torah obligation of prayer anytime they speak to God, whether it's a thanks or a request or any connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the day, no matter how mundane it is. If it means it means if you're driving and you're pulling up in the parking lot, and Baruch Hashem, the shul is packed. There's no parking, and then you stop and you say, Hashem, please find me a parking spot. According to the Ramban, you have fulfilled your Torah obligation of prayer for that day. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't continue with your formal praying, right? It's not. Yeah, it's not full out. It's not like as if you're completely off your hook, but you fulfilled your Torah obligation of prayer. Now, no. So wait. Before we say how we go, because it's not clear. It's not like the Shulchan Aruch is chotech one way or the other. Okay, because the nafka mina, the difference is not so practical. Because at the end of the day, we still need to pray our 3 prayers a day. However, listen to the chidush that Rabbi Pincus brings out from this Ramban versus the Rambam. He says, according to the Ramban, not only have you fulfilled your obligation of prayer in that instant, however, every single situation like that comes up in the day, a person has a Torah obligation opportunity to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Meaning, according to the Ramban, every time you're in a situation that you are a little in distress, or you need help, or you need an answer, and you pray to Hashem, or you thank Hashem, right now at that moment, you are fulfilling a Torah obligation of speaking and connecting back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So on one hand, we see it almost as a leniency, yet on the other hand, it's really a stringency, because every single time that we come to any crossroad, any little bump, any little situation in our life that we need help, or we have that opportunity to call to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we don't, now we are forgoing that Torah obligation of prayer. So
problem is, over here is you pray because you want something, so
Okay, so when it's not limited to praying when you want something. It's thanking, it's speaking to God. That's prayer is all of that included.
Normally there's two things you talk
It's
about.
a great
You
it's
talk
a
to God.
it's a great thing.
Thank you or request. There's two things.
It's a great thing to even ask from God. Don't listen to this concept.
Is that the argument?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's the argument. The argument is it formalized prayer or is it continuous? Okay? I'm not saying that the Rambam would say, tune out of God the rest of the day between Shachrit and Mincha. Of course not.
But since
From the Rambam and from
אבל איפה זה הרמב"ן שאומר, רבי נחמני שאומר שבכל סיטואציה אתה כאילו fulfill. In any situation you like fulfill your...
it's black on white. It's the Rambam and the Ramban.
מאיזה משפט, מה, בחי בהם?
No.
Actually, if you learn
We'll have to look.
Hilchot Tefillah from the Rambam,
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah.
In the beginning of Hilchot Tefillah from the Rambam, the whole idea of Tefillah is the communication with God. There's no formal Tefillah before the Korbanot.
Right.
Formal Tefillah. So Rambam says everybody has the obligation to talk to God. Before there was Korbanot, how did we talk to God? There was no minyan. There was no Tefillah.
Meaning during Korbanot, yeah.
Before during Korbanot, correct.
The format before the...
There was no Tefillah.
Because
you talking to Boreolam.
They used to talk to Boreolam directly.
No, different.
But maybe they find out that the best way is the tefillah because it's set up with first of all you praise him and then you ask him. This is the right thing because people used to ask.
But that was instituted.
Hey, don't forget, you have to
But that was
pray.
instituted after the Bet
Yeah,
HaMikdash was destroyed. Before the Bet HaMikdash was destroyed, there was no concept of tefillah. It was communication with
almost like
Boreolam, which was once a day. That was the requirement. Unshalema farim sefatenu.
It switched to that.
Organized it because of the korbanot, shachrit, mincha, and the arbit was because the mincha korban would stay on the whole time until night. So we do arbit. That's why arbit we don't do chazara. We only do chazara, shachrit, and mincha. We don't do, but that's it.
Okay, moving on. Chazak. Just to answer your question, if you're saying if the request back to...
I was just saying.
So the answer...
The argument would be.
Right. So listen to this. The answer is that don't belittle the fact that people ask from God, because at least they know who the address is. It's a very strong concept. It's a strong concept to know who to put your trust in, who to put your hope in, to put your belief in. Put it in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even if it's ask. Don't only ask.
Right.
But don't belittle that relationship of ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we'll end off with this, and we'll just move on.
You want
Sorry,
us to ask.
we'll just end off with this last point, and then we'll move on. That if we look at our grandparents, and those of us who knew our great grandparents, and if we go further and further up, the name of God was on, like Yosef. We're going to read about Yosef, right? One of Yosef's great powers was that the name of God was always on his tongue. As Rashi says on the parasha, that Yosef HaTzadik, he was always mumbling. Whether he was doing something or not doing it, he was always mumbling, and he was mumbling always the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu nonstop. If we look at our grandparents, especially our grandmothers, right? They're in the kitchen. For some, they're making cholent, and for others, they're making shena, and they're both speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu while they're making it. Make it come out this way, have it this way, and this and that, and this child and this grandchild. And they were always speaking with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's something that B'ezrat Hashem we can take from our grandparents and our great grandparents and mimic that, because that means that really all day long they were living with God. That communication. It's a beautiful. And then something good happens, they say it's from Hashem. Something bad happens, it's from Hashem too. It's living the same life. It's just looking for those messages, replying to those messages. It's just a beautiful way of life. Okay, we can speak about that for long. Let's move on.
Quick question
Some, yeah.
Quick question on the Halacha. It says over there that you can't look at a woman's face.
Yeah.
How does a person do that in retail? How do you carry yourself in retail?
So it's off top.
It's easier in personal life.
It's off topic. We spoke about it. We speak about it in the afternoons in our Shmirat Einayim series. Also, we're going to speak more about it during Shovevim, which is starting in Parashat Shmot. However, the quick answer is according to Halacha, revealed parts of a woman's body, meaning parts of the body which are normally and acceptedly to be revealed, which don't arouse interest, is allowed to be looked at, not for benefit. So a person's face, a woman's face, is normally uncovered. So therefore, looking at her face, because you're speaking to her, that would be allowed. Looking at her, even because you're speaking to her, but in order to benefit from her beauty, that is when it's prohibited. Okay, and we'll speak more about it. We'll speak about different parts of the body. We'll speak about different situations, and it's all based on what's going on in the mind. Moving on. Halacha, the Rambam says as follows.
How do I do it?
How do you do it?
Who said I do it?
Nashim.
Who said I do it?
Women come into your shop and you're not dressed right.
I need to work on myself hard.
You gotta go like
Nashim shamru lahen. This is a fundamental philosophical question.
By the way, it's attached to the Mussar.
It's all, even yesterday it was. Ike, you have to run? Okay, fine. So, you have, fundamental philosophical question. And before we read it, I'll say it outside and then you could go, don't worry. If right now you're in a group of people and someone comes in and says, we're going to kill everybody or choose one. Everyone has to give up their life, and no one is true. You cannot give one person away. Is one person allowed? The Rambam doesn't speak about this, but is one person allowed to take the bullet for the rest? The Rambam doesn't speak about this. The halacha is as follows.
Makes sense.
The halacha is a person is allowed to, however, he is not now given the merit as being a martyr.
Is it considered suicide?
It's not considered suicide, but it's not considered like a martyr. It's somewhere in between. It's somewhere where if, based on the situation, he was going to die anyways with everyone and he just tried saving everyone else and that was really his intention, it could be he has merit in that. However, obligated, no one's obligated. And the more so, this is what the Rambam is really speaking about, is everyone's not allowed to get together and say, this individual is going to be, and force, or give the name of somebody. Okay, we're going to see the Rambam. What? Exactly, okay. This one's the oldest, or this one's the dumbest, or this one's the nebachist, whatever the case is. Then
They figure this guy has
this guy, Chas Shalom, has a very short lifespan anyways.
Right.
Therefore, what? Even a Rasha, Chazaku Baruch. Okay, so now let's read. The Rambam gives two different scenarios. He gives, okay, scenario number one. Nashim shamru lahem goyim. A group of women that Gentiles, obviously wicked and right. Tenu lanu ahat mikem untame ota. Give us one, Chas Shalom. We'll rape only her, and everyone else can go free. V'im lav. And if not, we will violate is the best word, violate all of them. Yitameu kulan velo imsru lahem nefesh ahat miYisrael. Okay? Same concept. The question is in this one, could a one woman give herself up even? I don't even think, in this case you couldn't. Very good, we're going to speak about it. Chazak, very good.
The language of the halacha is Shamrulan going tenu lanu.
Give us one. Meaning everyone come together. Yeah. No, meaning
tenu lanu
meaning that all 20 of us pick one. Yeah.
That's the halacha, that's the language.
Yeah.
The goyim are asking you to pick. Obviously, if a person wants to offer themselves, that's not contemplated in the halacha.
Right, but in this first one, as we soon see, as Michael saying, based on the end of the Rambam, in this case, for sure, one woman would not be allowed to take the bullet for the team. Okay, next.
This is a real question.
What?
This has happened in the concentration camp.
I can't hear you.
It's happened.
No, violated. Okay. Now. Yeah. This was very serious in the time of the Holocaust. Okay, now let's see. V'chenim amru lahem goyim. Let's continue. I want to have time for Gemara today. V'chenim amru lahem goyim. Tenu lanu echad mikem v'nargenu. Ve'im lav naro korechem yargu kulam ve'al imsuru lahem nefesh ahat miYisrael. Same thing. If they come and they say, we demand one person, choose one person, we're going to kill him and we let you all free. If not, everyone's going down. You're not allowed to choose somebody, again, who said your blood or anyone's blood is redder than anyone else. Says we are all created in the image of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we have no right to choose who's going to live and not.
You want to discuss it?
It seems. What's the point of discussion? So we're going to choose who, or what? This concept of everyone. We're 20 people in the room. Everyone takes a stick, and the short stick's the one that loses, right? That's a not Jewish concept. We're not allowed to do that.
However, the real...
So that's what we were speaking about. Let's finish halacha before we get about get into volunteer.
If a person is willing to shoot this person, how do you know they're not going to go?
That's true. That's true. That's true.
If they don't care about killing somebody,
okay, let's. I'm continuing to read. You can continue talking. I'm continuing to read. Ve'im yahaduhu lahem ve'amru tinulanu ploni. If they continue and then they say, you know what? Don't give us one. We want this specific person. Is anyone's name in here Reuven? No. Okay. We want specifically Reuven. Or na'arog et kulechem. We want this specific individual, or we kill everybody. Im hayav. Look at the Rambam says. Im hayav mechoyav mita kisheva ben bichri. If he was anyways hayav mita. If he anyways was liable by death, and we'll explain how and why in a moment. But anyways, he was liable in death. Then we'd be allowed to give him. However, ve'en morichin lahen ken lechatchila. However, as follows: if they come and they say they want Reuven, if Reuven would be liable by court. However, it wasn't the time of Bet Din, and Bet Din could not follow through and exercise their. Exactly. If they were not able to exercise their capital punishment on Reuven, then if they wanted Reuven, very good. Reuven is given. However, meaning even if he was hiding, it sounds like almost they'd have to snitch on him. Imagine like everyone's in this room and Reuven's hiding in the kitchen. Where's the Reuven? No one's Reuven. I know someone's lying. Okay, you'd have to point over there again because he's chayav mita. However, if he was no, there could be a bet din, but they could not exercise it. It's very simple. Let's not get into it because we want to move on. But let's say someone killed someone else, and there was edim, and the person is obligated death. I'll tell you the example that he gives here. Sheva ben Bichri was an individual who rebelled against King David. One who rebels against a king, Melech Israel, hayav mita. Okay.
That's a different generation, Rabbi. David HaMelech himself could decide this guy's going to die.
No. David HaMelech, even David HaMelech doesn't. It's a bet din. There's dayanim. The only exception is by a king of Israel. You defy. You go against the king of Israel. It's bet din which follows through and carries out that law. But let's.
No, we're not doing.
Whoa, he's asking a good question. Yes, the answer is yes. I'll tell you, the answer is yes. If you have two Jewish witnesses, kosher witnesses, who warn another individual, don't kill this other person. Okay, there was hatra'ah, there was warning, and the person kills that other individual. According to Bet Din, he's chayav mita. Bet Din cannot. Let me explain. Bet Din cannot exercise that. That's what we have to understand. The person could be hayav mita, but we cannot do anything about it. In this situation, we would be doing something about it. We'd be able to say, yes, this is Reuven. Here, take Reuven. Okay? But that's only...
Cannot do the exercise today. They're not judging. Because they cannot exercise. Did you hear about this?
No.
But now we cannot do it.
No, it doesn't happen.
They don't even think about
It does. You don't see something like that because when it falls into something so severe like that, it falls into the court system. Or we're talking to people who are so disconnected from Torah and God that they don't care to hear what the Bet Din has to say. But a person could be chayav mitad min hashamayim, whether Bet Din could exercise it or not.
But Rabbi, you had to, respectfully, you had to have had the case. It had to have been adjudicated. I'm sorry, I know we want to move forward, but we're talking about halacha, about God forbid that someone in the room should think that when, God forbid, if our enemies come, that, oh yeah, this guy would have been chayav mita, I know that he killed so and so, okay, you send him off.
Today you don't do it.
It had to have been clear. Yes, I'll give you granted. It had to have been clear. Okay? If it was clear and they asked for him. Now look what he says at the end. He says, if they came in and they said, give us one, even though that person who's liable by death is in the room, we're not allowed to say, oh, why don't you just take him? Because they didn't ask for him. You got that? If they didn't ask for Reuven, the one who's liable by death, we can't volunteer for him, even though he's chayav mita.
Where they said, who did X, Y,
No.
The most important thing is
They wanted him specifically.
We
They wanted
cannot believe him because whatever they said is lie.
What?
They're looking for him because he did something bad to them.
No, who knows why? It could be. Okay, moving on. V'imenu chayav mita yargu kulan v'anim misur lahem nefesh echad mi'Yisrael. And if there isn't such an individual with such criteria, we would not give anyone up. Kinyan Shamru.
Let's cannot trust them. I mean, that's what it is.
No, that's not what the Rambam says. The Rambam says is because we do not give a Jewish life. Even if you trust them, we do not give up. We do not volunteer a Jewish life to be taken. There's no such concept in our Torah. Okay?
But it's a beautiful concept because what it really tells us is that even if Moshe Rabbeinu and everybody's in the room, all the tzaddikim is in the room, and I'm in the room, they're not going to give me up. In the eyes of Borei Olam, each individual is as important.
Very nice.
That's the message of the Halacha. Each individual is important. So when you're feeling down, and you're saying, why am I here? What do I do? What do I deserve? You have to look at yourself. You have to look at yourself. Look how important I am. That even if all the tzaddikim are in one room and the Romaim comes to say, give me one, I'm just as important as Moshe Rabbeinu. I'm not going to be replaced by him.
Zab Baruch. Beautiful. Beautiful.
The whole
You didn't
idea.
say your last word yet. Who knows?
Chazaku Baruch. Okay, halacha bet. Kinyan shamru beonsin, kachamru becholaim. So the same way as we put, look at the Rambam, the same way we put the importance of life by not giving up one, not volunteering someone's life for them, the same way comes by when someone's sick. Ketzad, for example, mi shechala v'nata lamut, a person who got sick and now they are on their way to their end. V'amru arofim, and the doctor said, sherefuato b'davar ploni misurin shebatorah. The only way to heal him is to do something which is prohibited for him. Let's say to eat pig is the classic example, or to do something which breaks Shabbat. Anything we see except for the 3 cardinal sins, anything which would help and give the person's life, we transgress it, as we learned yesterday. V'hai bahem. Was it yesterday or the day before? Or someone called me and asked me.
Right now.
V'chai b'hem, very good. V'chai b'hem. Okay, so the same way, like we cannot choose to give someone's life, for someone to die for it, the same way as we can't let someone die for it if there's something we can do that goes against the very Torah that Hashem gave us, as we're soon going to see, aside for the 3 cardinal sins. So let's read it. Kinyan shamru beonsin kachamru becholaim ketzad mishchalav nata lamud ve'amru arofim sherefuata b'dvar polnim yisurim shvat Torah osin mitrapin bechol yisurim shvat Torah b'mkom sakana chutz. It's again, number one, it only has to be sakana. It has to be a life-threatening situation. If it's not a life-threatening situation, if it's only to make someone stronger, nowadays they sell vitamins which have non-kosher ingredients in them. Taking vitamins which have non-kosher ingredients in them are completely prohibited. Prohibited.
Is that a life or death situation?
I just said vitamins.
Oh, vitamin.
Okay? Vitamins. If it is medication and it's a life or death situation, or even, I'll put so far, it's a doubtful life or death situation, it is not only permitted, it is obligated to do so. Moving on. Osin umitrapin bechol yisurin shvat Torah b'mkom sakana. Chutz me'avodah zara, gilui arayot, and shlichut damim. If the doctor will come and say, the only way to heal you, sometimes with mental illness this can be a case. The only way to heal you is for you to bow down to this certain idol. That's not allowed to be done. The only way for you to be healed is if you do something inappropriate with a woman who is prohibited to you. Not allowed to do it. Or if they say the only way that you'll heal whether it's mental illness or physical illness is if you murder another individual, all of those 3 are not allowed to be done, even in a place of sakana, in a situation of sakana. She'afilu kishufim, it depends what type of kishufim we're talking about. If it has to do, if the source is from Avodah Zarah, yes. If not, no. Okay? Now look at this. If a person now had some type of illness and he transgressed one of the 3 cardinal sins and he was became healed from it, they now have to assess him and see, based on what he did, what a worthy punishment that he deserves is. And how do you do that is, I'm sure, a whole other story. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen v'amen. Rabbi Chaim Baruch Shem Omer. Tzag Baruch Hu Zokot Yisrael. Lefichach er ba'alem Torah mitzvot shenemar. Adonai